Do you often feel like you're stuck in a rut? Does it feel like every day has just become a monotonous chore where you're going through the motions but you don't quite feel connected to any of what you're doing and it isn't in alignment with your true dreams and goals? If so, then well done, you found the right video. And in this video I am going to be describing to you 3 very practical exercises that you can use as of today that will literally take 2 minutes. And the beauty of these exercises is that they're not long-winded, they're not complicated in any way, they're very, very simple, and you can carry them out in front of people. You can do it in a subtle way where no one can actually see what you're doing, but what the end result will be is after doing just even 1 or 2 of them, you will find that your vibration automatically shifts and your head becomes clearer and your body feels more calm and more relaxed. If you're in a stressful situation, let's say you're on a date or you're having an argument with a relative, or you're just feeling stressed out and overwhelmed at work, this is something you can do at your desk. You can do it walking along the street. If you're going for a walk to calm down, they're very, very simple. So the first thing that you can do right now to help yourself get out of a rut, if you're having a bad day and you feel mentally challenged and drained, then it might sound super simple, almost too simple to even believe it has any real impact, but it's breathing. It's diaphragmatic breathing. So what you'll do is, if you're not familiar with how diaphragmatic breathing works, you literally just breathe in very deeply through your nose, and as you do it, you push your stomach out. So I'd like you to try this right now as you're watching the video with me, is put your hand just on your belly button, so where your solar plexus is, and just breathe in through your nose. Take a very deep inhale, like so, and push your stomach out. And then as you breathe out, what you'll find is that your stomach will naturally go in again. And the reason this works very well is because as you're doing that rhythm of breathing in and pushing your stomach out and then naturally letting everything go back in, is that you're giving your lungs the space to reach their full capacity in terms of oxygen. And you'll literally feel it as you put your hand on your stomach, on your belly button. You will feel your diaphragm move down, and that's why it's called diaphragmatic breathing. So if you just do it again with me, breathe in through your nose, you'll feel your diaphragm move down. So keep going. Once you reach your sort of top breath, take another sip, and then let everything go back in, and you'll feel the diaphragm moving up again. And what that is doing is it is giving your brain the signal that everything is okay, you're alive, and you can relax. You're giving yourself really the permission to relax in terms of the mind-body connection, because when we are stressed out and we're in a state of, oh my god, I don't know what to do, I feel totally overwhelmed, I don't know how to cope. If you are in a situation where you're having an argument with someone or a disagreement, maybe, I don't know, your boss wants to have a word with you and you feel your anxiety starting to rise, it can really help you to just feel grounded and clear your head. As I said, it helps you to clear your head, relax the muscles in your body, and so physically, on a physiological level, everything starts to slow down. And what it does mentally and emotionally is it helps you to feel more grounded. And when we're grounded, we're present. And this is something that you can do very subtly in front of someone. Literally, if someone's talking and they're going, oh, and you're just thinking, oh my god, please, just shut up, I want to get out of this situation. By just doing that subtly, which you can do with a bit of practice, you can do it subtly without anyone noticing. Just remember to push your stomach out, and then everything will move back in as you breathe out. It might sound like you're sighing audibly, but again, you can go to the toilet if you're out with friends. You can do it as you're walking over to the bar. You can excuse yourself and just have 2-3 minutes. And this will help you to get out of a rut mentally, because the grounding feeling of doing this really does help you be present. And the minute we're present, we're no longer trapped in our head of all this, noise and confusion and sense of, oh my god, this is all too much, I can't cope. And the reason why I'm even doing this video, to be honest with you, before I move on to the second tip, is that not too long ago, it was about 6 months ago, my friend said to me, she literally asked this question, Holly, what do we do when we're stuck in a rut? When we're having a bad day and we're trapped in our head and everything just seems to be going, from bad to worse, and it's, when you're just having those days where everything that can go wrong does go wrong. And I made a note of that, and I thought I'm gonna do a video on this. But the reason I'm doing it now is because, for those of you who are new to my channel and don't really know me that well, I have recently moved. I bought a 200-year-old cottage, and I've actually had to move back in with my parents temporarily in London with my 2-year-old little boy. So he has no childcare at the moment because we're sort of in between houses, and it's just been super stressful because I work from home, and as much as I love my little boy more than anything else in the world, there's days where I literally I want to stick my head in the oven, because it is so overwhelming. I'm working from home, I'm trying to juggle and spin all these plates, I'm talking to builders because there's so much stuff that's going on at my cottage, and I'm like over 100 miles away. My new cottage is in Somerset, and I'm in London, and there's just so much going on. My boss wants to have a call, my little boy wants me to play with him, and it's just every single day it's like, okay, it's just a challenge. And so I've really begun applying these steps, and it's made such a huge difference. And I don't like my videos to be all about me and what I'm going through, but on the other hand, I wouldn't be authentic if I wasn't sharing with you the stuff that I myself use on a regular basis to help me stay sane. And I think mothers, more so than anyone, kind of understand that sense of being stuck in a rut where every day just feels like it's rolling into one, and by the end of the day, you're exhausted, but you haven't really achieved much because you're looking after another person. All your time and energy is on them. So that's why I decided at this time to do this video, and talk about these particular principles and exercises that I myself have been applying that I know work. So moving on to the second practical exercise that you can do, and again, this kind of extends from once you've practiced the breathing, the deep breathing, the diaphragmatic technique, is if you are in a bathroom or somewhere like that, let's say you've taken a few minutes out to just calm down, gather your thoughts, really, sort of just check in with yourself. At that point, once you've sort of balanced your emotional and mental state, because that's what the breathing will do for you, is I want you to look into the mirror, or if you've got a pocket mirror, and to be honest, the mirror side of it is not necessary to do this, because if you are in a situation where you don't have a mirror or you're not on your own, I'd like you to just connect and think, okay, what is the story that I'm telling myself right now? Because it is impossible for us to feel bad and be thinking positively, or be thinking negatively but feel good. We can't do the two simultaneously. We just can't. We can't do it at once. So if you're not able to do it there and then, that's fine, but as you start practicing these techniques more and more, you'll get more sensitive to the story that you're telling. And that's why the mirror aspect comes in quite handy, because when you look in the mirror and you look into your own eyes, you can really start to get a sense of the thoughts that you're thinking and the story that you're telling that is disempowering. So for example, being stuck in a rut, having a bad day, what is that theme that you find yourself, that inner dialogue that seems to come up time and time again? With me, for example, it's, why has life got to be so hard right now? I don't have any time, there's no time for me to just have a cup of coffee. Everything seems uphill, and I'm so stressed and I feel under pressure a lot. So catch that thought that keeps coming over and over again to you, that you find yourself saying out loud to people or to yourself, or just thinking. Catch that narrative and that theme and think, right, how can I turn this on its head? How can I replace that thought with a positive affirmation? Because remember, everything we're saying or thinking is an affirmation of some kind. We're affirming to ourselves a certain thing that we perceive as being a fact, right? So what happens is, when we think these thoughts over and over and over again, these negative thoughts, that is where in the end we get up in the morning feeling like, oh God, here we go again, same shit, different day. What's today gonna bring? So straight away we're stuck in that mental state. And of course, over time, those thoughts become beliefs. That's all a belief is. A belief is simply a thought that you keep thinking. And the more we think it, the more the neural pathways in our brain start to entrench those thoughts as beliefs. So it affects our body, it affects our adrenaline, it affects our blood pressure, our heart rate, and then of course, before we know it, we're sort of having panic attacks and feeling stressed out all the time, and it just becomes a natural state of being where we get stuck in fight or flight. So this is really important, is to really monitor that inner dialogue and say, right, how can I change this story? So for example, with me, with the examples that I've just given you, is one or two of my new affirmations recently have been, I have all the time I need. Every morning I look in the mirror and I will do my best to sort of say these affirmations looking into my own eyes. Every time I pass a mirror or a window or see my reflection, I'll say, okay, I have all the time I need. Things are getting easier and easier every day. Life is becoming more and more enjoyable. So whether it's pressure, stress, time that you feel like is running out, I have all the time I need. All is well in my world. There's no need to stress. I am becoming more grounded. I am becoming more centered. Every day I am becoming calmer. I am becoming happier. Life is becoming easier and easier for me. So you can use whatever words you want. Just make sure it's in the present tense. And as best as you can, try to use a mirror, because by looking into your own eyes and saying those words, it has more of an impact on your mind. I use the brain and the mind, by the way, interchangeably, but I don't want to bore you with neuroscience or psychology or anything like that, but the mind and the brain are two different things. If you imagine the brain as being a car, which I'm sitting in, as you could probably already have seen, but if you imagine the brain as being a car and the mind is the person behind the wheel that says we're going left, we're going right. So your brain is physically responding in terms of the neural pathways and giving the messages to your body to say it's okay, calm down now, through the breathing, through the wording that you're using. But the mind is where everything is contained. It's where all those fears and the memories and the past experiences, the future hopes and dreams, maybe doubts, insecurities as well, it's all grouped up in the mind, which makes you who you are, your beliefs, your preferences, your likes, your dislikes, and so on. Okay, so that is very important, and day by day, if you just have a little mantra that you're using, it can make a difference. And again, your thoughts are things that you can think silently, so carry those phrases that you create for yourself, carry them around with you and start using them. So when things begin to get quite stressful during the day, clutch onto those new thoughts and just say them over and over again. And they're not going to have any immediate effect, but what it does is, as I mentioned a while ago about the whole feeling and thought thing, is the more you think these thoughts, the lighter you will begin to feel and the happier you will begin to feel, because it's literally a form of self-hypnosis. Okay? The third exercise that you can apply if you're having a bad day and you feel stuck in a rut is to appreciate. And right now you might be thinking, well, Holly, I'm not watching this video for nothing. There's not much in my life right now that I'm appreciating. I feel stuck in a rut. Every day seems the same, and I'm just on this eternal hamster wheel that doesn't seem to be giving me any relief. I get that and I understand that. But if you've watched my other videos and you know anything about me, you'll know that I'm a huge believer in the law of attraction, and I talk about the law of attraction in most, if not all, of my videos. When we appreciate what is working well in our life, it automatically makes us feel better. So these, again, going back to the breathing, the inner dialogue, and the appreciation, this is something that you can use interchangeably. You can pick one or two, you can just do one for now and roll with that, or you can do all three together. They're not something that you need to do in sequence. But the appreciation thing is something you can literally just sitting at your desk or sitting in front of someone who's getting on your nerves and irritating you, and you can look around and think, what do I appreciate about this moment right now? Okay, well, where I'm sitting, for example, the sky's clear blue at the moment. There's a beautiful tree right in front of me. There's blossom, there's daisies, it's a sunny day. Little things like that, which we probably 9 times out of 10 when we're stressed out, we're not noticing, we're not really taking in. But again, it brings you into the present moment and it helps you to establish what is actually working well for you right now, what is going well in the experience that you find yourself in, even if on face value it feels bad and it feels negative. And the more you do that, you can then start choosing certain aspects of your life where things aren't going as badly as perhaps they could be. So, like my son, my little boy, he drives me crazy, but I love him so much. And when he smiles or he laughs and I see him having a good time playing with his bike in the garden and things like that, that makes me smile. It fills my heart up and I feel good. So just observing in your life what is working well, what you're really proud of, what you love and cherish, and what you couldn't do without, as if it was your last day here on earth. What would you savor? What would you really think, what, if I could just have one more day on this planet, what would I be doing? Who would I be with? Those friends, your certain family relatives. Sorry, I can't speak today, I do apologise. If you've got certain relatives, that are supportive, that give you love and are always there for you, even a stranger smiling at you when you're walking down the road or holding the door open for you, beautiful flowers, it's springtime at the moment, Mother Nature is doing her thing in full glory. There's so many things to be grateful for, and I don't want to come across as preachery with that, because I don't know what your circumstances are, but there is always something to be grateful for, even just our breath. Our breath is the most important thing we have. We don't know when our next breath is coming, right? Like, how is there any guarantee that we know where our next breath is coming from? But it's always there for us, and that life force energy is something that we've been given, that is sacred. And if we suddenly couldn't breathe, all of our other problems would pale in comparison, wouldn't they? So just our breath, the clothes on our back, whatever amount of money we've got in our bank account, even if it's only a small amount and it's nowhere near how much we wish to have, it's still something. And when you appreciate what you appreciates, it gathers momentum. It aligns you with how you're feeling. And this is leading me on to the kind of bonus type exercise that I would like you to really think about. Is if you feel really stuck in a rut and you feel really like life is just against you right now and every day is a bad one and there's not that much to look forward to, you are in control of your life. You might not feel that right now, but you are in control of your life. You are an adult and you are in charge of where you go, what you do, who you work for. There is so much that you are in control of. And I know life can sometimes be thrown at us and we feel like we have no power. Set up a date for yourself. do something nice for yourself, whether it be tonight or this weekend or next week. I'd like you to look in your diary and plan something for yourself. Do something for yourself that you normally love doing and that you haven't done for a while. Or if, say, you really want to go and spend a day somewhere at the coast, or just do something for yourself perhaps that you've never even done before, that you've always wanted to do and you've always thought, oh, there isn't enough time, I don't have the time for that. Again, turn it on its head. Yes, you do have time, because your well-being and your mental health is more important than anything else. If that all collapses, everything else will, wherever you think you are now on that scale of happiness, that will take even more of a nosedive. So that's the bonus exercise for you to do, is to have something in the future to look forward to. And when I say future, I'm not talking about next year, I mean like next week. Okay, in the near future, something that you can think, oh, I've carved that time out for myself, that sacred space, so I can detach from whatever's bugging me right now, making me feel stuck and trapped, and I can just be with me. Because when you do that for yourself, you are not only giving yourself the permission to feel good and to just relax and let it all go, but you're feeling good. And remember, when it comes to manifesting and when it comes to the law of attraction, and this is to quote Abraham Hicks, is everything we want, we believe it will make us feel better. That's the only reason we want that particular thing, that particular partner, or that particular amount of money, house, car, holiday, experience. We only want it because we believe it will make us feel better for having it. So when you switch off from the rest of the world and you give yourself that time and that permission and that love and respect, you are automatically going to go into alignment. And when you go into alignment, you are in alignment with everything that you're wanting, and you're opening up that floodgate for things to come to you, to be drawn to you. So set a date for yourself in the near future or tonight, as soon as you can, to just switch off and give yourself that space that you need to do whatever brings you joy, whatever brings you happiness and makes you feel at peace. Okay, and the more you can do that, the better. I understand that being a mother, it's not easy, but it is possible, I promise you. Alright, I'm also now going to something I've started doing in all of my videos, which I've had some wonderful feedback about, is that practical exercise that I gave you regarding the affirmations. I'm now going to pull a card for you on your behalf, and if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, then just go with your own dialogue, what you feel might be better for you in terms of positive affirmations. But see this as like a message. If you use it as a mantra, great, and use it if it works, if it feels, relevant. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. But just take a minute now, maybe do some diaphragmatic breathing and just remind yourself that this simple act of watching this video is a form of self-love, and you've recognised the issue, and together we're addressing it. So I'm going to pull a message for you now from the universe. I'm using Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back. So whatever that means to you, maybe it's angels, God, or the universe, or your spirit guides, maybe ancestors, loved ones that you've lost. This is their message to you. Oh wow. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So that's pretty relevant to what we've been talking about. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. In every moment. So that comes back to what we were referring to in terms of being grounded, being present, and catching those negative thoughts that are bringing us down in our head. That story that we don't want any longer, it's no longer serving us. How can we get rid of that and replace it with positive thoughts? Just one by one. We don't need to take it all on in one go. Just one particular thing, cherry pick it and say I'm replacing it now with right-minded thinking. Right-minded thinking in terms of love and peace and positivity and joy. And how can I focus my attention on what is working well, what is nice and good for me right now, how the universe is literally on a physical, tangible level giving me evidence of love and support. Right now in this moment, is it a pretty flower? Is it a blue sky? I use nature a lot because I love being out in nature, but is it, a kiss and a cuddle from your child? Is it a friendly phone call? Is it, I don't know, one of your favourite songs coming on the radio and just making you feel better for a few minutes? It doesn't matter. All those little things are God or the universe's way of saying to you, you're not alone. You've got this. You might feel stuck in a rut, but you are in control. And there's little simple things that you can do to help shift your life in the direction you want it to go in. And usually the simplest of steps are the most powerful. That's my strap line. Little steps that will make a big difference today. Okay? So I hope that's helped. If you have enjoyed today's video, then please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Share with me your own experiences. Perhaps you have your own little ritual that you do on a daily basis that helps if you are feeling trapped and stuck and that life's just getting too much. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm really wanting to build a community on this channel so that we can all be there to support each other with the daily stuff, because life can be difficult and it can throw us a lot of curveballs, but yeah, as long as we're together and we're united and our focus is genuine, then we're going to be fine and you're going to be fine. If you are a big fan of the law of attraction and you want to take your manifesting to the next level, then you might be interested in my 14-day law of attraction miracle process. You can access it via the link below this video. It's basically a daily practice where you spend 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening going through a certain short little exercise, and it helps you to basically align with your bigger future goals. So if you're ambitious and you're always kind of wanting to make stuff happen quickly, whatever your manifestation goals are, it brings it more into reality now and literally shows you, by doing these particular practices in the morning and in the evening, how you are, one, you're better at manifesting than what you think you are, and two, it helps you to visibly see the signs around you that your manifestation is becoming fuller and more tangible and real. So you know how when you start manifesting, at first it's all really exciting and then you reach a plateau where you think, oh, nothing's happening, or you get distracted and life takes over and it all falls to the wayside. This 14-day practice and miracle process will eradicate all of that. It connects you to your inner child and it helps you to really get back into contact with who you truly are and what your dreams are and why they're yours in the first place, which is where all the power lies. So you can literally monitor your manifestations day by day and see those little miracles starting to emerge and become more frequent. The 14-day law of attraction miracle process does also come with an audio, a short meditation, which goes hand in hand with the daily practice and exercises. But then it also has 2 bonus audios, again short meditations. One is based on money and one is based on love. So whatever your manifestation goals are, you can use them interchangeably depending on where you're at in your manifesting journey and how far or close you are to that end result. Okay, Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed my video. And until next time, take care, lots of love. I will speak with you again very soon.